How's it going, guys? We are back on Dragon Ball Legends, and yes, I did finally manage to pull a copy of the MVP from the Tournament of Power, Legends Limited, Android 17. So in this video, we're going to be jumping into ranked PvP and seeing how he does. But first, let's go into the actual summon and see the pull. Let's go.
I'm gonna take you down! See? You like that? This is Huh? Here I come! Let's do this! Shall I get serious? Take this! All right! I've got you now.
This is what a real...
I got you!
I suppose it's time we...
I can't...
I suppose it's time we...
Very well.
The power...
Okay then, so yes, very lucky off some free multi-magic. I basically grinded out enough crystals to do the step prior off the raid and things like that, and I got very lucky, like I said, on that free multi-magic. So not bad. In this video, we're jumping into ranked PvP with obviously an Androids team, probably one of his more suited teams. We're going to be jumping in with the tag Androids and the Hellfighter 17, which for different reasons would be very good with this actual Legends Limited 17. So he's got a lot going on with him, and if I was speaking about all of it, I would go on for ages. So I'm just going to show you quite a lot of it and go through his main points. He is obviously Blast based, so he wants to be on a Blast team, which there's a lot of counters to Blast at the moment, but I'm sure that'll come a lot better later on and when there's more Blast based teams. He does also bring the Universe Rep for the first time, essentially, which is the new tag that they brought. Like I said, I'm just opening these up so you can see it. He gets extra key back on his blue card. His green card's pretty good. Extra key, extra damage inflicted, extra card draw speed as well, and also lowers allies substitution count. And he does have a unique gauge, which we'll have a look at in a second, but that is built basically by either him or an ally taking hits. So you can build that up, and when you use the green card, you also nullify any cover change, and you basically build up the unique gauge if you don't have that full. So we do have the XL finish, which does have an LF animation as well. It does nullify any endurance, which is very nice there as well. And if you have a defeated battle member, it nullifies unfavorable element factors for 15 timer counts, and also increases Dragon Ball by 1, which is not bad. So his main ability also gets extra health, key, and once again more card draw speed. So if you double this up with a green card, you'd be looking pretty good for a combo. And once again, it nullifies cover change as well, so you can once again double it up with a green card, and you'd be looking pretty good, especially if you've got that gauge full. There is the Z ability with the Universe Rep on there as well. He does get extra damage inflicted against Fusion Warriors, and then pretty much some other buffs and all that sort of stuff. He has Endurance, and he can also draw Blast cards and restore Ki every time he comes into the battlefield. There's extra damage inflicted and -1 to arts cost, and this is why the tag Androids is very good to be alongside him, because they nullify Endurance, and he does boost Rise and Rush by 70% for any ally, which is incredible for the damage inflicted. So you can pretty much take out anyone with the tag Androids with this guy alongside them. And he also restores his Vanishing Gauge by 80%, which is crazy, when this character evades an enemy attack with a Vanishing Gauge. Once the unique gauge is full, like I said, that is pretty crazy, to be honest. So he's got a cover change as well against Blast card. And once again, he's got the unique gauge built up by him or allies taking attacks, which is where the Hellfighter 17, who heals and can tank quite well, comes into play and comes quite handy. And once it is fully, restores his health, gets extra damage and all that sort of stuff, reduces enemy Dragon Ball by 1, and also seals the main ability for the enemy for 15 timer counts, which is quite a long time, to be honest. Where we are now is basically one of the biggest counters already to Gogeta, because obviously he does nullify endurance off his Rise and Rush. This 17, every time the enemy uses a blue card, green card, or Awakens card, or Rise and Rush, then the 17 will nullify any buff effects. And this will happen 3 times. So long as the enemy hasn't used 3 blue cards, for example, if Gogeta does rush this android, it won't nullify his endurance, which is pretty crazy. But in comparison to Rose Goku Black, who can't have his endurance nullification cancelled, he will still finish this android. So bear that in mind. Android 17. He also gives extra buffs to allies and all that sort of stuff as well. So that's a brief overview of him anyway. I'm sure quite a lot of you have seen what he does anyway. But he is looking pretty good. He gives a lot of support to the team. He disrupts the enemy a lot. He looks like he can hold his own himself. So looking pretty good. Like I said, we're going to jump into some ranked PvP. If you haven't already, make sure to hit that like and subscribe. And without further ado, let's get into it. Let's go. Okay, a bit of a movie scene here, and we've got a juiced up Ultra Gogeta, so let's see. I'm going to back off with that. That's not good at all. Let's go into U. That's a lot of damage there on 17. We can actually build up his unique gauge as well whilst he is on standby, so... And this 17 can also heal up as well, so that's the main reason he's on this team. It's just basically tank some damage, heal up, and all that sort of stuff. So this guy really likes to use his blast armor, doesn't he? Let's go into you. Hopefully you can tank some of this. You can. Right, okay, bit of an odd decision there. Is he going to switch? There it is, there it is. Not sure if he's going to switch again into Gogeta. Doesn't matter anyway. Because we're going to Rise in. And we've got that endurance nullification as well. We'll try and get a Rise and Rush in with the actual 17 a bit later on. But a bit of a necessity, just get at least one of these nuisances out of the way. Remember with 17 as well, going up against Gogeta, he does nullify enemies' like abilities and things like that up to 3 times every time they use a blue card or Rise and Rush or anything like that. So his endurance, the actual 17s, if he was to rise in, for example, now, won't be nullified, which is a major thing of the Gogeta. Right. 959 wasn't the greatest, but it was good enough. I'm definitely not using a strike. Let's go back into you. Now I'll use some strikes. We'll get these out of the way, and hopefully we can start off with an LF there. Let's see. Okay, go into 17 and do this. And we can start off with the LF, don't forfeit or anything. Nice, okay. Not a bad first show, and like I said, and it's nice for us to have that back pocket. I don't think he actually Rise and Rush, did he? Maybe not, because he was worried about the 17. But obviously having that in the back pocket against Gogeta, cancelling his buffs, is very handy. They want to be using green cards, blue cards, before they use their Rise and Rush, basically. But not a bad showing. Let's jump into the next match. Okay, looks like we're up against God's Key, basically, with Gogeta again. So let's see how this goes. It's looking a bit laggy already. Hello? Did he drop? I'm not sure. We'll see throughout this, because every time I say that, they haven't actually dropped by that point. I don't know why I did that either. I was talking. Right, okay, so we're going to go into here. At least we can tank a little bit. I think he's dropped. No? See, this is what happens when I'm always trying to figure out if it's dropped or not. I just basically start losing, so let's just focus up. Right. Okay, you have no Vanish, and we kind of already know that. Let's go into you. Bit odd that he would actually go for a Vanish there. I'm going to Vanish whatever this is. Almost have our unique gauge filled there. Almost. Okay, blue card. He doesn't want to use that counter, does he? Cool, very nice, very nice. We will take that, and they've gone into Trunks as well. I'm going to do nothing. In fact, I'm going to get some ki back. Ah, that's such an annoying ability that they can do there. Let's do this. Oh, very nice. He actually made me extend there. You can tank this, surely. Type advantage? Let's just go for blast here. Right. Okay. Let's go for this. Let's get the Rise and Rush pose in here anyway. Doing, obviously, as you probably expect, a lot of damage to MUI Goku here. But at least we get someone out of the way. Good, good, good. The main one is Gogeta's keeping that... we've still got that counter available. But realistically, I want that done with the Hellfighter 17, because you can just heal it off. Which is, I think I've already said it in the video. There we go. We've got our Vanish back as well. Let's just blue it. Gets rid of someone there. But yeah, this Hellfighter 17 is mainly here to get the hits for the 17 to build his gauge and go from there, basically. And perfect Vanish. And we're going to get another LF in the video by the looks of it. So... I'm not 100% sure if he did drop at the start there, but once again, I need to stop focusing on that because I stopped focusing on the fight, basically. But overall, we saw a lot out of this 17. We get to see the LF again, and we see some nice damage as well. So he is only 4 stars, bearing in mind. And this, I think this Gogeta is pretty juiced up. Does get extra damage, but he's doing alright, to be fair. Let's get into the next match. Alright then, so up against our Hybrids team, which doesn't even look like the best of sort of Hybrids teams, to be honest, but we'll see what we can do. Let's go into the 17 so we can start building up our LF17, or whatever you want to call him. Okay, should we go for a tackle? Nice, that worked out. And we will go into the Android, start building you up, even though he's probably, yeah, going to go into you. Doesn't really matter, we'll just start, like I said, building you up so we can go into 18 at some point, hopefully. There we go. But this is definitely going to be the last match of this video, no matter what happens, just because I've had a bit of a nightmare recording this, if I'd be honest. I had a really good match earlier that all the recording mucked up against Rose Goku Black, which I did want to say in this. That's not the greatest. That's alright. I did want to say that he is probably the biggest counter to this 17, if I be honest, because the 17, whole thing about him is he cancels the effects up to 3 times every time they use like a blue card, green card, Rise and Rush, or anything like that. I don't know why it worked out like that, but somehow it's worked out. Let's go for a blue card. Why not? Every time I go for Strike or Blast, I get picked, so why not? But against Rose Goku Black, he can't have his Endurance Nullification removed, basically. It's not cancelable. So I believe that the Rose Goku Black will actually just kill this 17, regardless. So watch out for that if you are using 17 a lot. Okay, so they're gone. And you're just going to do that. Okay, he's gone now. Don't really know where you can go from here, if I be honest, mate. I'm going to go into 18. Just do this. Main reason is I'm going to just pop his main. Get that sort of going, get some heals and all that. And this guy's probably... To be honest, I'll be very impressed if he doesn't forfeit. Especially now. Well, looks like it's this 17 to finish up, but we've got a lot of KO screens and LFs actually with the other 17. But this team doesn't seem too bad. I do think it'll probably struggle in like the higher ranks with the higher meta teams, so like the Beast Gohan with the Gogeta and stuff like that. But it's looking pretty good. And Android 17, the actual Ranger MVP 17, he's looking pretty good as well. He can do quite a lot of damage, disrupts the enemy quite a lot. when you're using a Rising Rush, which I didn't actually talk about in this video, but with the tag 17 and 18, using a Rising Rush with them who nullify endurance and getting that extra boost off the MVB 17 can be really powerful as well. We didn't really do a lot out in this video with it, but it is what it is. But like I said, he does a lot of disruption, and he can also disrupt Gogeta quite well. He gets additional attack against like Fusion Warriors, and obviously cancelling that buff of the Nullify Endurance is quite powerful in this meta, but we'll see how it is. It's a bit of a downside that he is blast based because we get those blast cards, and as we saw with the Gogeta, it's a bit of a nuisance because we don't want to really prop his counter. So yeah, a bit of an issue there, but we'll see as we go along. We'll most likely get a lot more androids sort of units and things like that as well, especially with the new movie and the new Red Ribbon Army and all that sort of stuff, so we will see. But let me know down in the comments your thoughts on the 17, and did you pull him, yes or no, and also let me know, did you actually summon or not, because I know a lot of people were choosing to skip. But if you haven't already, guys, make sure to hit that like and subscribe. Thank you very much for watching. Until next time, I'll catch you later. Ciao.